Hey guys, what's going on? I just wanted to update you on the H. pylori and everything. So, I called them this morning. When I say them, I mean my hospital, the person who would tell me. Turns out I don't have H. pylori anymore, so I was super excited. I was like, yay, now you can put in my paperwork. So that was about 9:30. So at about 3:30, the assistant who does the administrative worker, she calls me and she's like, you have no comorbidities, and I'm sorry, I'm watching Single Ladies. I usually don't watch it, but anywho, so she was like, oh, you have no comorbidities, and my insurance is a difficult insurance. I guess it's hard to get approved with stuff, and so I'm like, wait a second. So she's like, you're going to have to give me something like, you have trouble breathing. I said, yeah. I'm sure you can spice it up. I'm a fat person. In comparison to when I was small, do I have trouble breathing? No, not really. But when I go up the stairs, yeah, I'm winded. Anything that a fat person experiences, that's me. So I really don't I don't really understand why she can't spice it up. First off, I gave her my paperwork, and she was able to see my paperwork since the 5th. She's seen all my tests. The doctor gave me clearance. She actually, when I was there, when I gave it to her in her hand, she checked it over for a few minutes. She was like, okay, let me see if I need anything. And then she's like, okay, you're good. So that was the 5th. That was almost 3 weeks ago. So today, it's like, first off, my surgery is supposed to be next week, Monday. And usually they like to give it a month before your last surgery, for, time to run the paperwork. 2 weeks is like, usually, 2 weeks. I've heard from with me, with the people who do my surgery and stuff, 2 weeks is like the minimum that I've heard, but we're on 5 days. I've heard people get the response back sooner, so after knowing that I didn't have to deal with taking H. pylori meds, now the thing was, am I just going to get my approval in time? And then she calls me to tell me that, so then I called her back to say that I'm pre-diabetic. Diabetes is in my family. These are things that are known. My blood was tested. I think, because my aunt was telling me, I think up to 100 or 10 something is when you're diabetic, and I'm 95, because my grandmother has a thing where you check your finger, and I'm 95, so that's close. And they also told me that I was pre-diabetic too, and they said, oh, the surgery, would help with that, like weight loss. So I'm just kind of like, but the first call, when I spoke to her, I was like, I have hydradenitis. She was like, what is that? I explained it to her. She was like, oh, my friend has that, but I need something more concrete. So then she asked me if, I have problems breathing. I was like, yeah. Jazz it up, You wait till the last minute. First off, this is month 6, because she's like, first off, if you research anywhere, they say in order to get it, if your insurance covers it, because my insurance covers it, it's supposed to be a medical necessity for my insurance. But if you're over 100 pounds, then you don't have to have a comorbidity. If you're less than 100 pounds, or less than, I forgot what it was, but you're supposed to have a comorbidity. I'm 150 pounds, between 130 to 150 pounds overweight, according to my BMI. I think it's like 150 is like the maximum for my height. So technically about 130 something, So it's just kind of like, I meet the standards. So she was just like, oh, you don't have any comorbidities. Dude, you know this from jump. When they first did my blood pressure. Actually, when they first did my blood pressure, when I saw my surgeon, it took rather high, because I noticed there's a difference between when they use the smaller cuff and the larger cuff. And I also noticed there's a difference when they use the machine. The machine is always has me high. Most of the time it has me high, not always. So to me, if I knew that was the case, I would be like, yo, use that small cup, I would like, yo, because usually, I never want something that I know to be, like, my blood pressure is not high. I don't want it showing that it's high, I just like, okay, that's the fact. But if I knew that was the case, I'm like, yo, take, keep it correct. I don't really care. Have it say 160 or whatever, you know. But it's just like, it's just the consistency of everything. That's what's frustrating me. Everything is not consistent, and everything's so last minute. So it's just like right now. So when she was kind of rushing me off the phone when she called me. So when I called her back, she was still kind of rushing me off the phone. I don't know if she was trying to leave or whatever. Cause she was like, "Oh, I got it, I got it." I guess she has control of it. She knows what to do. Cause like I said, the second time I called her, I called her to tell her I had pre-diabetes, and she was like, "Oh, I just got off the phone with them, or I just called them and I put that, you know." She said she told them that, you know, about the breathing, whatever. But she said she'll put down the pre-diabetes in the paperwork. So I mean, everything is kind of a toss-up now, you know. So my main thing is my two things is waiting for approval, and if I don't get approved, I have to appeal it, and if I do get approved but late, then I have a later surgery. So it's like I'm still fighting with this. It's still ongoing, you know. It's still not flowing like it's supposed to, and things aren't flowing because of administrative situations. It's not me. I did what I had to do, you know. If somebody told me from 6 months ago that, oh, you have to have this, you have to have that, you know what? I wouldn't have been wasting my 6 months. I wouldn't be getting myself prepared. I wouldn't be having endoscopies and sleep studies and nothing like that. You know, I've never heard about this. You know, I'm in the requirement. My BMI is high enough for me to get covered. So what's the problem? And then when I last spoke to my insurance, they said, oh, they cover. First, they had to go find out, and I think they called a doctor because I don't think the people, the representative, knows jack squat. So I think. So they had to call a doctor to find that out. So the reps are so uninformed. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to do, what I might do in the morning, I'm going to do it. I'm going to call to see if I can get things in writing. What I need in writing was the requirement for bariatric surgery, and I also need the requirements for some other surgeries that I want done. Because it's like, like I said, when I spoke to them, when I first you know, started this whole journey in like January, I called them and they was like, oh, the doctor, the surgeon who you're going to see will tell you what all is required. So it's like, they're telling me this, and then they're not, it's just like, so much stuff going on, you know, and my insurance has not changed. And the reason why my insurance has not changed is because I didn't want to interfere. Like, I didn't want anything, because I figured, okay, this insurance is covering it. I didn't want to mess it up. You know, I didn't want to say, let me go to another insurance, and because I had the same insurance for maybe 2 years, 3 years, so I didn't want to mess it up. But to me, if somebody had told me from jump, oh, your type of insurance is hard, well, tell me what other kind of insurance is better. I would have switched from, you know, from the jump. But it's like miscommunication. Nobody's doing what they're supposed to, you know. And I'm just fed up right now. So I just want to let you guys know. I think Friday will be the day that I hear. I might get a call from them, you know, but Friday will be the day that I hear, because my surgery is supposed to be on Monday, you know. So it's just kind of like, they're not going to work on Saturday, Sunday, you know, the people, whatever, you know, my insurance people who have to like approve and like not approve. So I don't know. I just all I can do is hope that I get approved. First it was like, okay, let me hope that I don't have H. pylori. Now that's said and done, it's some other drama, you know. So anyway, I'm tired, and I just want to let you guys know what's going on, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.